Mark Donica here at RTX 2018 with Bruce Greene from Funhaus, Sugar Pine 7, all sorts of stuff. You're expanding far beyond where you started.
I guess a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I work for Rooster Teeth, and obviously Funhaus and Sugar Pine 7 are both parts of Rooster Teeth. And I now manage both groups.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were manager.
Yeah. So I'm kind of doing both the guys, and that's why I end up being in a little bit of Sugar Pine 7 videos, and obviously same amount of Funhaus videos, all the usual stuff.
How does Sugar Pine 7 has a very unique style, and did you have to change anything about like how you present yourself, or like because I know it's a little bit more like character altered, warped reality. Was there anything that you did for them that made you kind of stop, or was it all like fuck it, full speed ahead?
Oh no, you just have to go with Sugar Pine, and like what I've seen is typically Sugar Pine, Stephen Kip James are crazy, right? And so then you have to be the straight man.
Yeah.
Typically Autumn is the straight man, or I'm the straight man, or Vicky, our new editor, is the straight man. Anybody else around them ends up being the straight man versus the three crazy people. But I think that's why they work. So I haven't had to change much or anything like that. But you do have to be quicker. You have to be quicker with them.
Have you gone too far for them? Have you ever offered anything that made them go, oh, let's peel that back a little bit?
Oh no, because I usually try and top them.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what happens. And they don't ask me to pull back.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, like that's the nice thing about internet content, especially edited internet content, is that you can kind of try anything, and then afterwards you try it and you're like, you know what, that was way too much. We'll just cut it.
And especially with Septic style, where sometimes it just stops and immediately changes scene. Yeah, that totally works.
Yeah.
How has it been? Well, I mean, since you manage both groups.
Yeah.
Working at the same office, has that changed workflow at all for either team? Has it improved it?
I don't know that it's changed workflow for anybody at Funhaus. Maybe a little bit, because Sugar Pine 7 will literally just burst into a room with a camera and be like, and you don't know if they're shooting or not, by the way. So like if they're behind you and shouting, they could have a camera, they could not, right? So I don't think it's changed workflow very much for Funhaus. It's changed my workflow a lot, and it's changed their workflow a ton, because they didn't have a workflow before. It was just, they would just sort of like wander in, shoot something, and then like hope that they got a video out of it.
Yeah.
They still do that, but it's like a more structured thing now. They do it every single day.
Okay.
Versus, kind of whenever they want. So.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, one of the big projects that was coming out of RTX for Funhaus is Arizona Circle.
Oh yeah.
Can you describe that experience and moving into full sketch?
Oh yeah, it was so awesome. So Arizona Circle we'd been pitching for a while in terms of a sketch show. We wanted to do that with Josh, Chris, Aaron, and Blaine over at Rooster Teeth. Since they're in Austin and we're in Los Angeles, we wanted to do a collaboration, and basically everybody got together in a room for 7 days. And Josh and Elise are the head writers on the show. They did a ton of work. Same with James and Chris, and like those guys just knocked it out. I was lucky enough to just sit in the room and kind of throw ideas around for a few hours here and there because I was busy with other things, but they were destroying it for an entire week of just writing. And then after that, we shot for an entire week. And again, I had the easy job. Josh and Elise are both directing and show running, and Chris is also directing, and I was just I just got to be an actor. I just got to walk in and like read the lines and be like, was that okay, Josh? Was that okay, Elise? So it was awesome. It was really fun.
Okay, and not having to worry about any of the production side stuff, but just showing up. And
I got very lucky.
Yeah.
I got very lucky on that side because usually I'm worrying about everything else.
Yeah.
So they got to worry about that stuff, and I just got to try and perform. And so hopefully I was funny.
We got to see the first night screening.
Oh, good.
And it's oddly sort of like expected of the Funhaus group to hit certain levels.
It is.
What the fuck was that?
It is.
But
that's what's supposed to happen.
And then it pushed it farther.
Good.
I think.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's good.
Because like some of the shit y'all do on with demo disc and just the riffs that you go off on with a lot of the very, very good edits from your staff.
From the editor.
It's just it's a great look, and if people don't like. If people are watching Rooster Teeth not for the Let's Play family, this is a great way to introduce you guys.
Good. Wow, that's really great. That's high praise. Thank you very much, Mark.
I really mean it. I really mean it.
Okay.
And so we got Arizona Circle.
Yeah.
I want to know at least just a little bit about maybe a post-mortem, if you will, on Sex Swing.
Oh, Sex Swing, yeah, sure.
I thought Sex Swing was similarly a glimpse into what Funhouse is.
Yes.
And the Billy Zane coming into it.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
What if anything, do you want to say about Sex Swing?
Yeah, sure. Well, we learned a lot of lessons with Sex Swing. So Sex Swing, we also wanted to do a collaboration with Rooster Teeth Animation. And what we didn't do, we weren't able to do, because I think both departments were busy, is we weren't able to interface with them and interact with them. So like, we ended up writing the scripts. Again, James and Elise did a lot of the work, although I think Adam and Lawrence also knocked out a script. But they did a lot of the writing work, and then we would send the script over to Rooster Teeth Animation, and they would just animate it.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do was we wanted to be able to interface back and forth with them and be like, change this to this, and like sort of be a little more involved in the editing and animating process.
Yeah.
We just weren't able to, for reasons, it just kind of happens sometimes. We're in Los Angeles, they're in Austin.
Yep.
And that was a lesson we learned. So that we decided to try and collaborate more with Rooster Teeth. We wanted to, have more input. For example, Arizona Circle, we edited a few of the sketches on our side.
Okay.
Yeah. So we wanted to be part of that process, and we weren't able to with Sex Swing. And that's why I think actually Sex Swing sort of hit its stride later on in the series, is because once everyone got it, it took, like, in terms of Rooster Teeth Animation and us, then that's when you saw the shows start to form
and start to really pick
so
up.
the first few episodes were just everybody trying to get their feet under them, because nobody was really sure. By the end of that, with the Billy Zane episode, which was my favorite episode, that was why all of a sudden we were able to sort of hit that stride.
Yeah, and having a bit of a news drought, as I'll put it, has been a little bit unfortunate. But I love Tommy Steele. Tommy Steele was a great character.
Oh man, James wrote. I think James wrote him on purpose to never curse, but to use the weirdest words for cursing.
That's why, because in entertainment sometimes you have to deal with kids or this, that, or the other thing, and so. Except for here, where you can say whatever the fuck you want, you have to get really creative if you're like really angry in the moment.
Well, we just always thought it was funny that he didn't curse.
Yeah,
right. That's why we thought that's why we did it.
Was there a reason why he didn't?
I mean, you could read into, for me, when I was voicing the character, the reason he didn't curse is because basically, like, that was a callback to his years in war, right?
Yeah.
So like, he didn't ever want to bring those memories forward by using the actual curse words and, like, thinking about those actual things. So then he would use family-friendly things. That was for me the reason. But
war, god damn it.
I actually don't know. No one really knows if he was in war or not. But that was just his PTSD.
If he thinks he is,
right,
if he thinks he was in war, that's good enough.
That's all it took.
We had a stunning revelation on, which is a weird way to start the sentence that I'm about to finish.
Okay.
On demo disc this past week.
All right, yeah, sure.
You killed James's disk drive wife.
Wait a minute, James, that was not James's disk drive. I bought Cocoa. I bought her off Amazon, and when she arrived,
so that makes her your wife.
Yeah, she was mine. When she was, well, not wife, but when she arrived, it said Cocoa on the disc, and I was like, why does it say Cocoa on this disk drive? That's really weird. And so then I started calling her Cocoa. And yeah, I mean, I guess James at this point has more love for this disk drive than I do, but the disk drive wasn't doing its job, Mark.
No, I know. I'm pretty surprised that demo disc has been going on. I'm really happy that it's been going on, because you've been getting so much inconsistency with the reliability of the discs.
I mean, we've always had that. It feels like earlier we didn't, because we hadn't played so many discs. And now we're looking for non-duplicates.
Okay.
So, because we've seen a lot of the same discs now at this point. We've done 170 episodes of demo disc. Yeah.
Do you have like a catalog with like the faces of the disc, or do you just look at it and go, "Oh, we've played it"?
We just remember. We just like, and a lot of times we don't remember. By the way, there are times where we'll put it in, be like, "Oh, cool, it sounds like a great game," and then we'll play it, and we'll be like, "We already played this." So we're not perfect, but.
I mean, is anybody really?
No.
The
answer is no.
It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Jumping out of Rooster Teeth for a moment, you recently competed in the movie trivia schmodown for.
I mean, I don't know. Competed is the right word, but
well, so here's one of my favorite things that I wanted to mention. I was standing there watching the taping with all of the other recordings. People are just like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
But you had a beer next to you. You were looking like, "Ah, cool." I mean,
I had fun. I mean,
that's the thing is your energy brought out something different that unfortunately the edited version didn't get to see.
Oh,
sure. Just you were there just having a good time.
Yeah, well, and like the reason is because I had 36 hours notice.
Yeah.
To go to that thing.
I've had those for matches too, and just been like, what? Okay, here we go.
Well, so I would have sat down and actually watched the movies and read the wikis and done the whole deal again, because I obviously know them from 30 years of watching them.
Yeah.
But I'm not Alex Damon, who runs a YouTube channel about Star Wars and is like a savant. So
when I was studying, when countless other Star Wars competitors are training for matches, they watch his channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like we're already working at a deficit because it's all his stuff.
Yeah, and I honestly was just happy to basically give Alex the championship. That like the guy deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. So is
there anything else that you want to do in the league, or do you want to return? Do you want to train, or is this just like?
No, I'd like to play again. I'll just train this time.
Okay.
If they give me a week's notice, I'll be able to watch the movies. You know, like that'll be the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And while we're in Star Wars, I wanted to ask what your thoughts on both Last Jedi and Solo were, just because it's pretty divisive. I'm just interested.
Mark, I'm an easy audience, so I liked Last Jedi. I thought the whole Canto Bight thing, Casino Planet, was stupid, and almost didn't matter. I'm sure at the end of the movie, what you're going to see in Episode 9, I'm almost positive, is you're going to see. You remember the kid at the end of Last Jedi that like, looks up and be like, "Oh, rebellion, it's time." Episode 9 is going to be like that. Basically inspired a bunch of people across the galaxy to rebel. And then everyone's going to say that's the purpose of Last Jedi. That's the purpose of the Casino Planet storyline. But in that movie, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I was totally fine with. I liked the movie. I thought it was fine. I saw it twice in theaters, and I understood why it was divisive. I totally got it. Still enjoyed it. Solo, in my opinion, was even less offensive.
Yeah.
It was just pretty much easy to watch. There wasn't much action other than the train heist.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the film. I walked out being like, cool, that was fun.
Yeah, same.
So I haven't had it. The most fun I've had at a Star Wars film, I think, is still Rogue One, even more so than Force Awakens. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Why Rogue One? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, because I avoided. Well, I did a lot of things. I avoided most trailers, so I had no idea there was a space battle.
Okay.
And then also I read the book that was the prelude to the movie.
I like the book so much better. But then again,
the book is great.
Yeah.
The book is actually a really well-written book, and it also established all the characters that they barely established in the movie. So that helped me a lot. I was a very unique case with that movie.
I think it made Krennic a lot more interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
I was really sad that Rey's mom, whose name escapes me at the moment, was just immediately gone.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after reading the books. I was like, no, she's so interesting.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Well, very cool. We've got there's a lot coming out that we know about. Is there anything in particular that you're most excited for fans to see from Funhaus?
Oh, from Funhaus. We just started Wheelhouse, and the first 2 episodes at this point, I don't know when this interview is going up.
Almost immediately.
Okay, yeah. So the first, you won't have seen the first 2 episodes, but I've seen them both, and they're fantastic. Like, I want to say the second episode of Wheelhouse is one of the funniest things we've ever made. And we say that a lot, like once a month-ish at least, and it's because that's the way we feel.
Yeah, I think that's a great reaction to have.
Oh man, I was crying laughing watching the edit that John Smith put together. So I loved it. I can't wait for people to see it. So.
When does Wheelhouse drop?
It'll be every Monday. So yeah, so every Monday you'll start seeing Wheelhouse.
That's right. The season break from Demo Disc.
Right.
Then we're going to see Wheelhouse.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for your time, Bruce. Really
of course.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
catching
Mark.
Up with you.
It's always good to see you.
Yeah, it's always not in Los Angeles, but it's
you know.
which is bizarre. But yeah. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more from RTX 2018. Don't you go anywhere.